Hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. Uh, we will be starting in a couple of minutes. We are waiting all the attendees just logging in our webinar. Again, thank you so much for attending our webinar today, and we will be get back to you soon. Hello everyone. Welcome again. Thank you for attending our webinar today. We are waiting all the attendees just joining our webinar. We will be starting in a couple of minutes. Dear all, welcome again. This is Efe from Istanbul Koç University Global Recruitment Team. And welcome again for our webinar today about undergrad education at Koç University. My colleague, my manager, Ms. Melissa Abache, will be also joining us as panelist, and she will be replying the questions that you're asking. And also at the end of our webinar, we will be replying your questions that you can type, ask your questions on question and answer section of the webinar. And thank you so much for attending today again. I would like to start with an update about coronavirus and how it affects Koç University's undergrad admission process. I will be mentioning about these required exams, like required documentations of for getting admission in Koç University undergrad programs. But I would like to start with what are the effects of the coronavirus at the moment and what is our plans for admitting students. Sorry. We are all aware about the cancellation on SAT exams, like cancellations on final A level and IB score exams. That's why we decided to evaluate all students who apply Koç University based on their reference letters, based on their motivation letters, their transcripts, and all other supportive documents they uploaded to our online application system. And at the moment, the procedures that we are following, like you can apply with your existing transcript, with your predicted A level, with your predicted IB score, and your reference letter, your motivation letters. Then the admission committee will evaluate your application based on those. Then you may get a conditional acceptance, and the condition is bringing your final scores, final A levels, and final IB scores or SAT scores for September. As we know, College Board is planning to make a worldwide SAT exam in June and July, and you can attend those exams. And on application system, you can say, you can indicate the future days when you receive your SAT score, when you receive your A level and IB score. As we know from IB and Cambridge A level system as well, they are planning to declare your final A level and final IB scores based on your predicted IB and predicted A level scores. That's why you will be also able to bring in your final results for registration period. And this is our plan at the moment regarding on coronavirus updates. And we will be mentioning about these required documents and admission process in the upcoming slides as well. I would like to continue with a basic introduction about Koç University. We are located in Istanbul, Turkey, in European side of Istanbul. We are one of the best universities in Turkey. And we established in 1993 as a non-profit based foundation university. And we have a very small class sizes, not only in the Turkey, but also in the region, like every 15 students has one professor. We have 15-to-1 ratio. And also our faculty members are internationally renowned faculty members. They not only graduated from well-known universities all over the world, most of them have already worked as faculty members in those well-known universities. And also in Turkey, there's a central university admission exam for Turkish nationals. Students cannot apply individually to universities. They are attending a central exam, which is held by Turkish Higher Education Council, HSC of Turkey. And according to the score they received from that exam, they distributed centrally by this higher education body of Turkey. And according to the statistics that Koç University received the top 5% of the students who participated in that exam. That's why the classmates of international students from Turkey, they are also very competitive and excellent students. And we have more than 300 exchange agreements all over the world, not only in Europe, but including like Korea, United States, Canada, and Australia. And all of the universities that you can attend one of your semester or entire year as an exchange student, it's in more than 300 countries, and they are all well-known top 200 universities in the world. We have a very nice campus. We have a full campus, including dormitories, dining areas, social activity areas like swimming pool, ice skating pool. We have one of the best libraries in Turkey. We have gyms. We have cinema and theater options. Also, we have all the needs that you can have in your during your daily life, like a health center, a shopping center, a bank, a coiffure, a toilet, like including everything that you may need during your daily life. It's available at Koç University. We have a full campus in a very close destination to the city center of Istanbul in the European side. And as you can see in the picture, like it's a full campus with lots of opportunities in it. And we have also more than 70 active student clubs. In any interest areas, like you may interest in any area, like you can find an interesting student club at Koç University. Also, if you couldn't find any interesting student club within these 70 active student clubs, you also highly encourage to run your own student club, and you support it by the university to run your own student club. And also Istanbul is a very nice city to live. It's a very nice city to spend your university education time. There are lots of opportunities, there are lots of events happening in Istanbul, and it's a center of it's a place where continents meet. And that's why Turkey and Istanbul is also a very nice destination to spend your undergraduate education time. And these are our rankings. We are ranked by well-known ranking systems in the world, like Times Higher Education ranking system, QS ranking system, and Financial Times lists. And you may see, like in Asian continent, we are the 37th best university in the world. And also in the ranking system, which is younger than 50 years old universities, we are ranked as the best 70th university in the world. You may also see the subject-based rankings on the screen at the moment. And also, in terms of business schools by Quest World University Ranking System, you may see our rankings in the table. And also, according to these all three ranking systems, we are within the top 3 in Turkey. And this is our undergrad degree structure. We have College of Administrative Science and Economics, College of Science, College of Social Science and Humanities, College of Engineering. We have School of Medicine, School of Nursing, and School of Law. You can see the programs by college on the slide. We have the Business Administration, Economics, International Relations. We have Chemical and Biological Engineering, Computer Engineering, Electronics Engineering, Industrial Engineering, and Mechanical Engineering. Also, we have Chemistry, Physics, Mathematics, and Molecular Biology and Genetics under College of Science. And under College of Social Science and Humanities, we have Archaeology and Art History. We have English and Comparative Literature. We have Media and Visual Arts, History, Philosophy, Psychology, and Sociology. Also, we have School of Law. And I would like to continue with the education structure, like the features of our undergrad education. At Koç University, the perspective for undergrad studies is a liberal art education model. It's a 4-year curriculum for every program except medicine program. Medicine program is for 6 years. And semester-wise, it's 2 semesters. One is fall semester, another one is the spring semester. And according to extra credit hours and taking some extra course, you may also attend the summer semester. All courses are taught in English. The only Turkish program we have is School of Law program, and it's 70% in Turkish by law and the 30% in English. And the rest of the programs are taught in English. For medicine and nursing and law program, we're looking for Turkish proficiency. We do not have Turkish foundation program at Koç University, since all of the programs except nursing and law program, we do not offer a Turkish foundation. We expect you to bring Turkish proficiency if you want to enroll nursing and law program. And we offer English foundation program for all other programs. There are double major and minor options at Koç University. It's a part of the liberal art education that multidisciplinarity of the education is highly encouraged by Koç University. That's why there are some double major and minor options for undergrad students. You can start your program, for example, in business administration, and you can finish your undergrad degree with a double major in mathematics in any other program except medicine. Also, minor programs are available for every program. There is no additional tuition for double major or minor programs. It's all based on your academic GP. GPA and also your academic performance. There is no extra tuition fee or payment for double major or minor options. Also for engineering departments, specifically for engineering departments, as a part of our liberal art education program, like there are compulsory long-term internships for engineering majors, the students who are studying engineering programs at Koç University as undergrad programs. It's also support our liberal art education perspective and also give the ability for engineering students to discover the relationship, discover the connection between industry and academia. And also we have, as a part of our liberal art education, we have 1 credit year-long mandatory orientation course and seminars, which is called as Uni 101 courses. It's also series of seminars and orientation activities for undergrad students to make them get used to their university life, make them discover the abilities, discover the opportunities in their undergrad education. It's a very important part of our liberal art education. There are 3 main components of our undergraduate curriculum. The first one is required courses for program specific. There are required courses for every discipline that students should take those courses and pass those courses before they graduate. Also, there are concentration courses. It's a little bit more disciplinary depth classes that students can take during their undergraduate education. And also as a component of our liberal art education and also as a reflect of our multidisciplinary education, there are elective courses that you can select from any other department to identify your interest in, within your undergrad education, to discover your desires, to create your career paths. You will be also taking some elective courses from any other department you're interested in. And Koç University is also famous with the excellence of the teaching, as like it's claimed that for many universities, like the teaching and the teaching environment and teaching content is also mentioned in many places. But at Koç University, different than the systematic concepts, like we have a kind of check and balance mechanism for the ensuring of the quality of the education. And there are 4 components of this quality content and teaching. How we manage this quality content and teaching is, first one is the academic freedom in teaching content and evaluation methods. Koç University offers the perfect 100% academic freedom to all faculty members in terms of the teaching content they may select, or in terms of the evaluation methods they may implement for undergrad studies. Also, we implement the student evaluation system for courses at the end of every semester. All of the students who attend classes at Koç University are evaluating the courses they took after at the end of every semester, and it's also an important part of the how we manage the quality content on teaching and how we manage the course content, the teaching quality measurements. And also faculty members and teaching assistants receive regular training on teaching methods. We have a very nice center called COLD, like Koç University Learning and Teaching Center. And this center provides up-to-date teaching methods, teaching contents, and also learning environment technologies for our teaching assistants and faculty members. It's also an important part of the quality content and teaching management. And also all programs have been reviewed in terms of learning outcomes, in terms of courses and the structure. From 2018, we started this method, and it's continuing in upcoming years as well. At the end of every semester and every year, like all of the programs they've been reviewing in terms of the teaching content is provided over there, and also the learning outcomes. Again, as a part of the liberal art education perspective of Koç University, we have the core program. The first year of the undergrad studies in any department is approximately 90% is same with each other. There are 7 knowledge areas and 8 competencies within that core program. All of the first year junior students receive similar courses as a start for their undergraduate discipline. And this program is one of the most important components of our liberal arts education perspective. We call it the core program. But I want to make it clear, like, we do not have a foundation program for university. Like, it's one of the most popular questions that we are receiving as global recruitment team. Like, does Koç University offer a foundation program for university admission? No, unfortunately, we do not offer a foundation program for university admission. We offer only English foundation program, but it's based on your acceptance admission. In order to be eligible for English foundation program, you need to be accepted by a program at Koç University. For example, you should apply business administration and you should be accepted by admission committee to enroll business administration program. Then you will be eligible for study 1 year or 1 semester English foundation. This core program is not a foundation program. It's a program for junior students who start their program at Koç University. And as 7 knowledge areas, we provide humanities, social science, aesthetic and interpretive understanding, economic and strategic analysis, ethical reasoning, empirical and quantitative reasoning, and natural sciences as 7 knowledge areas within that core program. And also written and oral communication skills, the ability to think critically, analytical reasoning skills, integrate knowledge, ethical reasoning skills, creativity, free inquiry, and empirical reasoning abilities are given to the students within that core program. And this core program, the main logic behind this core program is also related with the liberal art perspective and also related to the multidisciplinarity of the education perspective at Koç University. As much as we can, we try to give an education, undergrad education, which is affected by all other disciplines, which students who attended our undergrad programs can enjoy other disciplines as well, and create a basic way of understanding about academic life. This is one of the most important parts of our liberal art education, and it also illustrates how multidisciplinary is important at Koç University. And these are also the track programs that undergrad students can follow during their undergrad education. For College of Engineering, College of Social Science and Humanities, and College of Administrative Science and Economics, you may see the track programs on the slide. For each college, there are different track programs that you can follow during your undergrad education, and you can also go deep on your discipline, go deep in your undergrad education structure. Then you may graduate at the end of your undergrad program with that kind of depth discipline learnings. And you may see the different track programs that you can follow with your undergrad degree, with your undergrad discipline. And also we provide some certificate programs during this 4-year undergrad education. You can also follow these certificate programs during your undergrad program, and you may graduate with one of these certificate programs. And you may see the details on the slide, like which certificate programs are available at the moment. There will be additions to these certificate programs in upcoming years as well. And also, I would like to continue with extracurricular support for students. Koç University, as I mentioned, like, is one of the best universities in the region in terms of the support for international students, in terms of the student services, in terms of the campus life, campus abilities, like extracurricular activities. And as a part of this full support for all international and national students, we have some specific offices and specific entities at Koç University. We have a newcomers office who are dealing with your orientation, who are dealing with your transition from high school to university life, which gives you all the information you may need during your first year at Koç University. And also we have academic advisory system, like every student has an academic advisor who is a faculty member on a specific program. And these academic advisors will be helping you during your undergrad education for 4 years about your track programs, about your double major, about your course selection, about any academic life related issues. They will be helping you as faculty members. We have also student mentor system. At Koç University, every newcomer student has a student mentor who is actually an existing student at Koç University in their second year, third year, or final year. And these students will be helping you through their experiences they have received during their first year or second year at Koç University. And it's also a very helpful system to make your transition in a healthy way from high school to university, from another country to Turkey, from another environment to our campus environment. We have also international community office, the office which is specifically responsible for your legal issues like your residence permit, like your visa issues when you get accepted, like your health insurance, that kind of things. Like they are dealing with specifically to maintain your well-being at Koç University in terms of bureaucracy, in terms of legal actions. And also we have academic and life skills office who is providing extracurricular activities for undergrad students to add them new academic skills, to add them life skills. Like if you have a problem on any laboratory to use any specific equipment, or if you have a problem, or if you want to improve yourself on some specific skills, this office will be helping you during your undergrad education. We have also Office of Learning and Teaching. This office is also one of the part of our quality content management of our undergrad education, the excellence of teaching. It's also an important part of it. It's also helping undergrad students to maintain their learning and teaching skills, to maintain their orientation to the academic life in terms of learning, in terms of using the equipments that Koç University provide, in terms of using the technologies that Koç University provide for students. In terms of library, we have one of the best libraries in the region. It's a very well-developed, well-equipped library with more than 30,000 online and offline resources. Also, lots of facilities in it, to 24-hour working areas, super silence areas, and also with lots of opportunities. You can enjoy your life. You enjoy your time when you're studying, when you're preparing your finals, when you're preparing your projects and everything. And also we have a career development center which is responsible for your undergrad, during your undergrad education, for your career development. If you're looking for internship, if you want to improve yourself on interviews, if you want to improve yourself on CV creation, they will be helping you during your undergrad education. And thanks to Koç University's strong relationship and strong connections with industry and with business life, this career development center also will be helping you a lot during your undergrad education, while you're creating your future path, while you're creating your career paths. And also we have a professional psychological counseling center at Koç University. It's available for international students at the same time. Like, it's a kind of psychological counseling center which helps you to deal with your academic problems, we deal with your personal problems like daily life problems. If you need a professional psychological counseling, this office will be there whenever you need. You can reach them, and you can get professional psychological support thanks to that office we have. And also I mentioned in the very beginning, Koç University is very famous with its student clubs and sport teams in Turkey. There are a significant amount of budget is shared by Koç University for student clubs. For example, if you want to enjoy a scuba diving club, the club has a budget to provide you the necessary equipment, to provide you the basic training about scuba diving, for example, or martial arts, or any sports team you may interested in. You can see the details in our YouTube channel, in our Instagram channel, in our social media accounts. Like, there are lots of sports teams, there are lots of active students club, which makes the campus life very joyful. And as I mentioned in the very beginning, at the moment we have 70 active student clubs, but we don't think it's enough. It's not even close to enough. Like, if you couldn't find any interesting club within this 70 student club, you highly encourage to run your own student club. Like, the school will provide you financial support, the school will provide you physical support, that you can run your own student club. That in the next webinar we can mention, like, it's 71, 72, 73. You're highly welcome to run your own club, to bring your own ideas as a student club or sport team. Also, we have a disability services center, the disability services office for students who have disabilities. They will maintain, they will ensure all the needs are fulfilled. All the needs of disabled students, it's fulfilled by this center, about the accessibility of the resources, about the accessibility of the campus life and everything. The disability services office will be there for you. And also I mentioned the exchange programs. We have more than 300 university exchange agreements, and they are not only the regular agreements. Koç University has a policy to make an exchange agreement within the top 200 universities in the world. And also it's not restricted only with Europe as an Erasmus project or Erasmus exchange program. We have many other exchange agreements other than Erasmus programs within Europe. You may also enjoy your exchange semester in Korea, in Canada, in United States, in Australia, and also in some other universities from Pacific, some other universities from Asia, that you can enjoy 1 semester or 1 year exchange semester in another university in another part of the world. Also, the agreements that we are signing make you eligible to transfer all the credits you take in another university to your Koç University transcript. In that way, you may not lose any semester or credit hour when you make an exchange semester, and you can still finish your undergrad program in 4 years. And also I want to mention about the accommodation options at Koç University as an important part of your university life and as an important component of our full campus concept. We provide dormitory options for our students, and especially for international students, our dormitory options are guaranteed. If you apply Koç University, get accepted and decided to stay in our rooms, your room is guaranteed. There is no chance that you cannot find a room. We cannot guarantee the room type in a room type for newcomer students, but we can guarantee a space for first year students in our campus. We have two campuses. One of them is in the main campus. In the upper picture is representing our main campus dorm facilities, and in the bottom picture you can see a most common triple room. You may see on the picture. In the main campus, our dorm capacity is 1,600 students. And also we have a West campus, which is 3-4 kilometers apart from the main campus. And there are specific shuttles from West campus dormitories to main campus for students who lives there in every 10 minutes during the day. And that's why it's also very convenient to reach the campus from the West campus as an accommodation option. And approximately 1,200 students are capacity we have in the West campus. We have different room types as double room, single room, triple and quadruple rooms. And the wireless internet access, cable TV and phone services are available in each room. Also, each room has a refrigerator, bed, closet, desk, chair, bed stand, light, pillow and blanket. And in short, like everything you may need as a accommodation option within your accommodation option, it will be provided by Koç University dorms. And also in addition, like it's one of the best parts of our dormitories, like we are providing housekeeping services are weekly for rooms and daily based for common areas. Like your room will be cleaning every week by Koç University dorm management, and also common areas in every day. Also, if you want to cook for yourself, and for laundry options, and also kitchen and TV and computer options, we provide, like in every dorm building, there's a kitchen with equipments, and also there's a laundry services in the dormitories, and also a lunch in every dorm room with a TV and computer areas available for all our students. If you want to check the details, the pricing and the room options, you may visit the web page that is available on the slide at the moment at dorms.ku.edu.tr. And if you want to go deep in dormitory options, please visit that web page. Our dorm life is also very active. Our dorm life is also very enjoyable. Like in our full campus concept, like most of the students are prefer to staying in our dorms, and they can finish their undergrad education without looking for another option for accommodation. They are so happy and they are enjoying our full campus life with other extracurricular activities, with swimming pools we have, with gyms we have even have a ice skating pool that you may enjoy and spend your undergrad education time in our campus. And as one of the most important popular programs that Koç University provide, I would like to mention a little bit about the School of Medicine in specific. It's established in 2006, and as a part of the School of Medicine, Koç University has a teaching and research hospital called Koç University Hospital. It's located in Topkapı region in Istanbul. And as a part of, again, School of Medicine, we have also Koç University Research Center for Translational Medicine. It's called KUTAM, and it's one of the most successful research center in Turkey based on medicine studies. And also the Koç University Hospital is a member of American Hospitals Association. That's why it also provides a nice hospitals network for undergrad students and researchers. Koç University provides 6 years of MD degree taught in English and recognized in the US and UK. That's why when you graduated from Koç University Undergrad Medicine program, uh, you can directly attend a US MLE exam without any accreditation or recognition of your MD diploma. The MLE exam in US is still applicable since you're applying for a specialty in the United States, but there is no need to accredit your undergrad medicine program since it's recognized by the US authorities. And also, our medicine program is a combination of 4-year academic education at campus and 2-year, in addition, in 2-year combination of campus and combination of hospital residency together. In total, it will be take 6 years for undergrad students. And we have a very small cohort, like from Turkey, we're receiving 40 to 60 students every year. And in terms of international students, we're receiving 20 students in total. And maximum 60 to 80 students are studying in one class together as a term in medicine studies. And also scholarships available, which I will mention in my upcoming slides, like what are the scholarship options to study undergrad program at Koç University. If you're specifically interested in medicine program, you may visit the webpage. It's available on the slide as well. You can see more details about the hospital, more details about the medicine education that Koç University provides. And in terms of admission, I would like to start with the intake we have. By law in Turkey, there is only one intake for international students, and it's fall intake. And applications are open at the moment. Every year we open our applications in early December, and we close it in July for fall intake. And applications at the moment are open, and it's online application. There is no need to send any hard copy by post or courier. All you need to do is just going online with our online application system, create your profile and upload all the required documents and submit. The original documents, the translations, the apostilles, the sealed or stamped documents will be required during the registration. For application period and getting an acceptance, there is no need to send hard copies and stamped or sealed documents. And we have a selective and holistic approach, like fulfilling the minimum requirements doesn't necessarily mean you get the acceptance automatically. For each program, we have admission committees which are created by the faculty members, and these faculty members will be evaluating your application during the evaluation period, during the admission period. That's why we have a selective and holistic approach to give admission for international students. Again, I want to underline, like providing the minimum requirements does not necessarily mean you get an acceptance automatically. There will be evaluation for each program specifically by the faculty members. And what we're looking for undergrad applications, we're looking for SAT1 or SAT2, or ACT or MCAT for medicine, or if you're an IB student or if you're an A-level student, you can apply with your predicted A-level and predicted IB score as well. Unfortunately, we do not accept national diplomas and national exams for university admission. We're looking for, this is a required document, must required document, like SAT1 or 2 or ACT, or you may apply with your A-level, predicted A-levels, or predicted IB score. O-levels, unfortunately, is not acceptable in Turkey by Turkish Higher Education Council, Turkish HSC. That's why you need to apply with your A-levels. Plus, these A-level, IB, or SAT scores, we're looking for motivation letter, which is also a very important component of our evaluation process, that you should clearly indicate yourself why you specifically prefer that program, why you select Koç University to apply, what is your career plans, what is your plans that you want to spend your time during your undergrad education. You should be clear about that. And also we're looking for 2 recommendation letters which should be provided by your existing high school teachers. Two different recommendation that we're looking for, and it's also a very important component of our evaluation process. Plus, we're looking for your diploma, your transcript, the courses that you took during your high school education, and if available, an English proficiency test score. In Turkey, IELTS unfortunately is not accepted by Turkish Higher Education Council, by Turkish HSC. That's why the available proficiencies that we accept as Koç University are TOEFL exam, Cambridge CIE exam, CAE exam, and Pearson PTE exam. But English proficiency is not a must requirement for undergrad admission at Koç University. It's optional. You can apply without an English proficiency, without an IELTS, TOEFL, or Pearson or Cambridge X certificate. Then when you get accepted, you may bring a acceptable proficiency exam for September for your registration, or when you come for registration in September, we will be implementing an English proficiency exam for enrolled students. You can attend that exam and you can pass our proficiency exam, and you can start your program directly without studying foundation. You will be waived from English foundation. And as we know, in Pakistan, like, the level of English is very well. It's basically your second language. Maybe for some of you, it's your main language. That's why it's optional. Please do not worry if you do not have an English proficiency. It doesn't affect your scholarship. It doesn't affect your acceptance. You may attend our proficiency exam, or you may bring your English proficiency in September during your registration. And again, when we come to the first slide, like I mentioned in the very beginning, like, but how did this current unfortunate events like COVID cases, COVID-19 virus crisis affect our admission process? Before these events, we do not accept applications without an SAT score or without a predicted A-level or predicted IB score. But now we all aware, like, it's very hard to access English proficiency exam. Most of the exams are cancelled. SAT is cancelled for March and April, even for May. And also A-level final exams are cancelled. IB final exams are cancelled. That's why we encourage you to apply with your existing documents, like other than SAT score, other than final A-level, other than final IB score. You may apply with your recommendation letters, your motivation letter, your transcripts, your extracurricular activities, that everything you can submit within your application. Then the evaluation committee of Koç University for undergrad education will evaluate you according to those documents that you provide, like your transcript, your motivation letter, your reference letter. Then you may get a conditional acceptance, and the condition will be based on the document, like the final diploma you will apply, like SAT or A-level or IB. You may receive a conditional acceptance, and the condition will be bringing the final A-level or bringing the final IB score or bringing the minimum SAT criteria that is offered by Koç University for your registration in September. That's why we encourage you to apply with your existing documents. You can apply with your transcript, your motivation letters, your reference letters. Then you can provide SAT score, you can provide your final A-level and final IB score for September for your registration. That's why please consider to apply, even if you haven't got your SAT score yet, even if you haven't got your final A-level or IB score yet. And these are the minimum requirements for programs that we offer at Koç University in terms of SAT, IB, and A-level. In medicine, we're looking for minimum 1,410 SAT score. And for other programs other than medicine, we're looking for minimum 1,180 out of 1,600. And on SAT2, you may also apply with SAT2 exam. We're looking for 2 subject tests. One should be math, level 1 or level 2 for all programs except medicine. For medicine, we're looking for 2 subject tests as well, where one should be math, level 1 or level 2, and the other one should be biology or chemistry. For law program is the same. One should be math, and one should be any related program like world history. In terms of IB, we're looking for 28 out of 45 for all programs except medicine. For medicine, we're looking for minimum 40 out of 45 on IB score. And in terms of A-level, we're looking for 2 relevant courses with minimum 2 A grades. It means like we're looking for 2 A levels that it should be related with the program that you're applying. For example, if you're applying for business administration or science or engineering, one should be math and the other one should be a science A level. Unfortunately, language A levels like Urdu or English is not acceptable. It's not count within that 2 required A levels. Also for medicine is the same. We're looking for 3 relevant courses with minimum A grades on A levels. One should be math, one can be biology, chemistry, physics. Again, I want to make it clear, like unfortunately, language A levels as Urdu or as English is not accepted within these requirements like 2 or 3 A levels. It should be something else. And these are the SAT statistics that we that Koç University admitted students. Between 2012 and 2018, you may see the math and reading and writing scores on the left-hand side. And for 2018 specifically, you can see SAT math and SAT reading writing statistics on the right-hand side. And it's also, you can see the division between faculties. And also in total SAT scores, you can see on the left-hand side and right-hand side about the total SAT scores between 2012 and 2018 and also 2018 specifically. All these information until now I mentioned like about required documents, about the minimum requirements on specific exams and diplomas, and also these SAT statistics. You can find all these information in our international webpage. You can see our exact webpage link at the end of my presentation. It's international.ku.edu.tr. Even if you are 100% sure about how the admission process, what documents you need to apply Koç University, we highly suggest you to check our webpage because there are lots of additional information over there. It can enlighten you on your admission process, on the application process. There are some sample motivation letters that from some good motivation letters that we receive anonymously. We share them on our webpage that you can see. You can see these statistics over there. You can see the required documents and everything. Please check that webpage as well. And this is our webpage. This is the section that you can apply. You can check all these details. On undergrad program section, there is how to apply section. Then you can find all the information that I'm mentioning here with more like with sample motivation letters, with some statistics about SAT, some statistics about the admission rates and everything you may see here. And what happens after you submit your application? First of all, the admission committee will shortlist the candidates who are eligible for evaluation, like fulfilling the minimum criteria and without any missing documents, submissions and everything. Then for medicine only, there will be interviews for the shortlisted candidates, but rest of the programs do not implement interviews. Then you will get your offer letter with a scholarship in it. Then it's time for registration. This is the pathway, this is the road that you follow after you submit your application. And I want to also mention about the tuition fees. For 2020 intake, the tuition fees are $19,500 for all programs except medicine, and for medicine program is $26,500 per year. These are the per year prices, and it's the tuition only prices. The prices you see as $19,500 and $26,500, these are per year prices for tuition only prices. And in addition, for campus dormitories, depending on the room type that you prefer or you appointed, like between $2,000 to $5,000 per year, you may find an accommodation option in our campus. And in addition, in addition to these costs, like for food, for books, for travel, or other daily expenses, the total cost per year is $5,000. And in a kind of estimation of an annual budget to study 1 year undergrad program at Koç University varies between $26,000 to $30,000, including everything like your campus, your food, travel, books, and your tuition. And now I would like to mention about the scholarships. Koç University offers scholarships for international students in two bases. First one of them is the academic merit-based scholarship, and the other option is the need-based scholarship. Also, you can combine those scholarships as well. You may receive a 25% academic scholarship and 25% need-based scholarship, and in total you will have 50% scholarship for your four-year undergrad studies. The scholarships are tuition only. Both need-based one and the academic one are both of them are tuition only scholarships. Even if you get 100% scholarship, the cost of the dormitory, the cost of your food expenditures, the cost of travel, the books, everything remaining the tuition fee will belongs to you. That's why please consider the scholarships that is given by Koç University. They are tuition only scholarships. And you may receive 25, 50, or 100% scholarship in terms of need and merit base. And also, as I said, like the combination of these two is also possible. Like you can get 25 need and 25 merit, and in total you will have 50%. And these are the tuitions with scholarships for undergrad programs. And I also want to mention about a little bit more detail about the types of the scholarship, like merit academic based one and the need based one. At Koç University, every applicant, every international student who applied Koç University automatically considered for any possible academic merit based scholarship. There isn't any additional application or document submission for academic-based scholarship. When you apply, you automatically will be evaluated for academic scholarship. That's why there isn't any application, there isn't additional documentation, and everything is on. But for need-based scholarship, on the application system, you can see on the left-hand side of the slide, like submission steps, there is a question about scholarship. In that section, it asks you, like, would you like to be considered for a scholarship? If you say yes to this, it makes you eligible for need-based scholarship. And it's an additional application for need-based scholarship. As I said, for academic and merit one, there is no need for any additional application. But for need-based one, you should select yes for this scholarship question on the application page. And need-based scholarship requires some additional documentation which illustrates your financial status, your family or your guardian's financial ability, about your eligibility on need-based scholarship. And these are some details about the need-based scholarship evaluation and what type of documents that is expected from you to evaluate it for this need-based scholarship. Be looking for your assets, your family or your guardian's assets, like the houses you have own, like the cars or savings or stocks, and etc. And you should illustrate these kind of documents for your assets part. And also, we're looking for the income, like the salary, pension, or rental income, or allowance, or any other income that your family or your guardians have. You should illustrate. And also expenses that we're looking for, if you have a mortgage, if you have a school tuition for other siblings or for yourself, or if you have a medical condition or someone from your family has a medical condition with a constant expenses, you can illustrate these things. And the most important part of the need-based scholarship is related with the providing the sufficient supporting documentation. And what does it mean, the sufficient supporting documentation? It should be in English or in Turkish. You can translate it, or if it is provided in English, it's acceptable. And also it should be certified by the issuing institution or notarized. And also it should be up to date, it should be recent. Again, related to coronavirus events, like we also aware, like it's hard to get these official notarized documents or official documents. That's why we can accept at the moment, like the translations without a notarized translation or without the sealed documents, but you should be clear to provide the necessary information in terms of your assets, incomes, and expenses. The logic behind the scholarship evaluation is make you eligible for any undergrad program under a scholarship, that the scholarship committee would like to be ensured, would like to be sure about, like the rest of your tuition after you get a scholarship is affordable for you. it means like, for example, if you say zero for all income and assets, and if you illustrate your expenses, most probably the result will be zero scholarship, because even if they give you 100% scholarship, the admission committee and the scholarship committee want to be sure about like you will be able to survive with the dorm fees, with the foods, with travel costs and everything. That's why try to be clear as possible to get that scholarship. And the scholarship committee is right there to support you in any means, like if you provide the necessary information. But the most important part is related with that, like the scholarships are given, they are only tuition scholarships. Even if you get 100% scholarship, you should still have a type of budget to maintain your education at Koç University. That's why try to be clear, try to be objective enough that to present your existing financial condition, then you may get a need-based scholarship as well. Again, if you provide the wrong information, if you provide the false information, or if you illustrate a unclear portrait on your need-based application, the result most probably will be zero scholarship on need-based one. And these are some examples which illustrates our application system about the need-based scholarship questions. You can see the USD fee details about your previous education and everything. And also in the bottom of this picture, there's a scholarship petition. In that petition, you may also expect to indicate yourself, you express yourself about why you're looking for a need-based scholarship, what is the actual condition that you are experiencing at the moment about your financial conditions, your families or your guardians' financial capacity. Please try to be clear in that scholarship section, petition section as well. It's also one of the most important parts of your need-based scholarship evaluation, that the scholarship committee will evaluate you according to these documents and these information you provide. And also, as I mentioned, like the merit-based academic scholarship, which does not require any additional application, like when you submit your application, you're automatically eligible for that scholarship evaluation. And it's given by the faculty deans, like it's a blind-based application. I'm sorry. And it might be 50% or 100% scholarship, depending on your academic quality. It's depending on your predicted A-level scores, predicted IB scores, your transcript, your motivation letter, your reference letter, your SAT score. And also it's holistic. That's why we do not have a table, for example, your like this SAT score equals to this percent of scholarship, or that predicted A-level scores, that predicted IB score equals to 50% scholarship. Unfortunately, we do not have such a table, because every individual application will be evaluated by admission committee, by deans, based on the extracurricular activities, based on your very personal motivation letter, based on your very personal reference letters. That's why we cannot provide a table in advance that score equals to that scholarship amount. And these are some details about, as you can see, your GPA, your motivation letter, recommendation letter, your school, and everything is related to this scholarship. And as I said, there is no additional application for this scholarship. When you submit your application, you automatically will be evaluated for that scholarship. And also, we are a member of Turkish scholarships. Turkey scholarship, it's a scholarship which is given by Turkish state, Turkish government for international students. Unlike the Koç University tuition on the scholarships, Turkey scholarships is covering your monthly stipend, your accommodation, your health insurance, and flight. Unfortunately, the deadline for fall 2020 was 20 of February. Next year, it will be the same. Every year, the Turkey Bursları, Turkish scholarship deadline is announced as the late February. That's why if you want to apply for next year, please consider this Turkey scholarship as well. And also, I would like to check our summer research program as well. We have a free of charge and plus fee accommodation based summer program. It's a summer research program which is based on real ongoing research of the faculty members of Koç University, and we invite international students to join that program. As I said, there is no tuition for it, and also there is free accommodation. you should be responsible for your flight tickets and for your food and other expenses at Koç University in Turkey. But for program tuition, there's no tuition, and also accommodation is free. And you please check the web page on the right hand side. You can see for details about the applications, for details about the summer program structure. It's based on your interest areas. It's based on the program that you would like to study as your bachelor degree, and you may attend the real ongoing projects, real ongoing research of our faculty members on those programs, on those disciplines. Then you will be getting a certificate when you graduate, when you finish that summer program. And this certificate that you may receive is also very helpful for your university admissions. Not only in Koç University, you can use that certification in your other US or Canada or Europe university applications as well. And this is our office. Like, as I mentioned, please send us an email whenever you have a question. We would love to help your admission process. We would love to help your application process. Whatever question you have, we will be there for you. Also, please check our webpage, as I mentioned several times, like for admission process, for details about required documents and everything. This webpage is very informative. Like, you may find lots of important information about, over there about Koç University, about how to apply, about scholarships. And also please check our social media accounts. We have very cool social media accounts, like our Instagram channel is very nice, our Twitter, also Facebook. And also I suggest you to check our YouTube channel. We have lots of videos over there about campus life, about academic life, about our existing international students, about the professors, their faculty members, their research and their awards, the excellence that they got and everything. It's a very active channel. Please have a look at these channels as well. Now I would like to invite Melissa to help me to answer the questions that you already asked in our question and answer section.
Mm-hmm. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very happy to see so many participants that you have taken the time to listen to us and your patience. I know you have a lot of questions, and that's also very exciting for us to know that you want to know more about our university and our program. So I'm going to try to group some of the questions that we received. The first topic was transfer, actually. Transfer admission procedures for those of you, for example, who are wishing to transfer into our second year of medicine or transfer into some of our engineering program. There was a question from someone who is currently completing a bachelor's in environmental science. So our transfer application procedures are very similar to the new, like, international student application procedures. Everything is done online. There is no application fee. You do have to upload, besides your high school transcripts and diploma, you should also upload your current university transcripts up to the latest semester that you have completed. You also should include a motivation letter explaining why you want to transfer into a specific program at Koç University. And you should provide also one of the eligible exams or diplomas that my colleague Efe showed in the slides. So for transfer, you will also need to provide either an SAT-1, SAT-2, or ACT exam, or if you graduated from a high school that was offering an IB diploma or A-level type diploma, then you can provide that. The process, it's exactly the same. And when you go to our international admissions website that you can see on the screen, there is a link there to go to the specific page where you can see the full list of application requirements for transfer. You are only able to transfer or to apply for transfer if you have completed at least 2 semesters in your current university bachelor degree, okay? In Turkey, the regulation also states that you can only transfer as a maximum into the 3rd year of a program. You cannot transfer into the 4th year because that's the last year of university and it's not allowed. You can transfer into the 2nd year or 3rd year of any 4-year bachelor program. And lastly, the tuition fees are the same for transfer students as we showed in earlier slides. There are also scholarships available for transfer students, and the process is exactly the same. You will see in the online application form that you're asked if you want to be considered for a need-based scholarship, and if you provide all the information and documents, then you're evaluated for one, okay? So that's with regards to transfers. Then we had some questions about the Turkey Bursları, the Turkish scholarships program, as my colleague Efe was mentioning. This is a government scholarship. This is not offered by Koç University, but we do have this specific agreement to welcome undergraduate students with that tuition scholarship. As he said, the applications are closed now. If you have already applied through the Turkish scholarships online application portal, we ask you to also please complete an application in our system so that we can check that you are also on the system and match the information with the selected candidates that they will send to us. So please do that before the final application deadline of 3rd of July. There was another question of someone who has applied for Turkish scholarships, but they didn't choose Koç University as one of the choices. If it's possible to switch, basically. We will need to have to check that. We would need to check that with the Turkish scholarships team to see if technically that is possible. So for the person who asked that question, I will kindly ask you to please send us an email to study@ku.edu.tr, the email address that you see on the screen right now, specifying your Turkish scholarships application number so that we can check about your individual case. And as I said, also submit an application in our own Koç University system. Okay. We had a question which was, if somebody is very poor, what can they do? And I think that the answer to that is the Turkish scholarships, because as Efe said, our Koç University scholarships are for tuition only. So you still need to have funding to cover your food, your books, your travel, flight to Turkey, and daily expenses. So the most comprehensive scholarship option that we have at the moment is the Turkish scholarships, because it provides a monthly stipend. They provide a book allowance, and they also provide a flight ticket from Pakistan, for example, to Turkey. But as we said, that will need to be for next year. And in the meantime, you can prepare yourself in terms of the necessary documents to apply for that scholarship. Then there was a question whether there are specific number of quotas or spaces based on countries, and the answer is no. We evaluate all candidates from all countries in the same way. There's no specific quota system for undergraduate or graduate admissions either. Then there were several questions about our medicine program, which we know in Pakistan, it's also referred to as MBBS. Okay, so in Turkey, it's referred to as medicine, not MBBS, but medicine. So my colleague Efe covered the basics in terms of the length of the program, the curriculum, and there was a question specifically about the research program. So to go in a bit more detail about this, the best way to know more about that is to go to our medicine school website, which is medicine.ku.edu.tr. Because you will be able to see that besides the required courses that you see on the first, second, and third year, which are theoretical systems courses, then you will see that every semester there are research seminars. Those research seminars are activities where the students have to prepare presentations and do team or individual work on a specific topic. And they're encouraged to then work with faculty members in different specialty areas and prepare papers, research papers on those topics. And also they're encouraged to present those papers both within the School of Medicine, within national conferences, like student-led conferences, and also at international level. The other element of our research kind of program for medicine students is that, again, throughout the program, throughout the 6 years, during the summers, the students can continue to do or to work, let's say, as laboratory and research assistants with our faculty members at the Koç University Hospital or at our main campus in areas not only in medicine, but this could be, for example, in biomedical sciences and engineering, in molecular biology and genetics, in computer, for example, computational sciences. So these are opportunities that are offered to medicine students as well. Then there was a question about tuition for medicine, which we have covered. So the tuition, just to repeat that again, is 26,500 $26,500 per year. And somebody was asking, then what is the total cost for 6 years? So it's approximately $159,000. So of course, as you know, medicine, it's never a very cheap thing to study in any country. Koç University in Turkey is not different than that. You have to then compare your options against costs of studying medicine in Pakistan or in other countries such as Canada or the UK or the US, and adding to that the costs of living. Then there was a question about medicine. What are the A-level grades required for medicine? I typed the answer, but I'll repeat here. So those of you who are enrolled in A-level type diploma programs, you would need 3 A-levels with A star or A grades for medicine as a minimum in relevant subjects. Relevant subjects for medicine would be mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology. Then we had questions about the high school certificate from Pakistan, the HSSC degree. So whether it's accepted, and if I answer this, so it's not accepted on its own. If that's all you have right now, yes, you can apply with your transcripts from your school and your high school certificate, but you will also need, even if you're given a conditional admission by the university, you will need to provide by September, when we start the fall semester, a valid SAT 1 or SAT 2 or ACT exam score report. So that means that yes, if you're completing your high school in and you will then take the federal board exams, you do need an SAT to enroll at the university. Then there was a question about our computer engineering program specifically, and what was the difference between computer engineering and computer science. And very helpfully, one of the other participants gave a brief answer just to explain that in Turkey, this is not the case in every university, but computer engineering and computer science are used somewhat interchangeably. So in our case, we're not, I'm not a computer engineer myself, but I can basically, I will read a very brief description of our computer engineering program and what the graduates from that program are supposed to be able to do. So the idea is that you have the ability to apply the principles of computer science theory, including data structures, algorithms, complexity, and software engineering in the construction of software systems and hardware and software systems of different complexity. And then you will also, for example, like learn design and operation of computer systems, as well as digital circuit design, computer architecture, operating systems, and database systems. The other element of our program is that we put a lot of emphasis on making sure that students have an advanced mathematical foundation, including discrete mathematics, differentiation, integration, multivariable calculus, linear algebra, differential equations, probability, and statistics. So the whole program, you have the required area courses, and then you can specialize in depth through 3 area electives and 6 free electives. And we also, as Efe mentioned, we do have track programs specifically for the computer engineering program. Top of my head, I remember, like we have cybersecurity, for example, and cryptography is one of them. Parallel computing is another one. So it depends on which area you want to specialize after you have completed your first and maybe second year. So now going back to other questions here. So we had questions about minimum requirements for electrical and electronics engineering undergraduate program, and similarly for business administration program. As Efe mentioned, Efe, can you go back to the table with the minimum SAT scores, please? Sure. So as we mentioned before, with the exception of medicine and law, all other programs, meaning electrical and engineering, computer, archaeology, business, so the BBS, for example, program, you do need one of, for example, if you're going to apply with an SAT test results, then you need that minimum score, but ideally you should be applying with the score higher than that. There was a question here about, I'm not sure if the person, because it was a question about our MBA program. Our MBA program is a graduate level program, meaning it's something that you can do after you have completed a bachelor's degree in a university. And in our case, our MBA program, it's also a post-experience program, meaning that you should have been working at least for 3 years in a professional capacity to apply to the program. If you have questions about the MBA program, again, please email us at study@ku.edu.tr and we can send you a very detailed email in terms of the program structure, fees, admission requirements, and everything else. There was some questions about whether Turkish is required for the business program or for medicine. I think we answered that, but just to reiterate, no, you don't need to speak Turkish to apply or to be admitted and to enroll in any of our programs, with the exception of law and nursing. But for all programs, including medicine and business, yes, you don't need to speak Turkish. For medicine, you are required to learn Turkish, but you have 3 years to do that after you enroll. So the first, second, and third year, you're taking your normal courses, and at the same time, you can be learning Turkish, so that by the 4th year, when you're actually starting to interact through the clinical courses at the hospital with patients, you will be able to speak Turkish. There was a question about also a master's in power engineering or electrical engineering in power. Again, that's not within the topic of this webinar, but the answer is we do have a master's in electrical and electronics engineering. However, power engineering is not one of the key kind of research areas of the program or the faculty members. What I would encourage you is, again, to you can go to our Graduate School of Sciences and Engineering. The address is gsse, like gsse.ku.edu.tr. Or you can also send us an email and we will send you information about the electrical and electronics engineering. We have other areas of research, but power engineering is not one of them. I would also suggest you can check another website, which is studyinturkey.gov, G-O-V for government, .tr for Turkey. In that sense, you can type, for example, power engineering, and it will show you which universities in Turkey are offering this at the undergraduate or graduate level, and which universities are offering the program in English or in Turkish or in another language. Then there were some questions about what are the fees for the archaeology program and for the School of Business, I think. But for archaeology, again, like with the exception of medicine, all of our programs, including business, archaeology, can we go to the fee? Yeah, so all the fees are the same. It's $19,500 per year. You multiply that, if you round that up to $20,000 and you multiply that by 4, it's approximately $80,000 for a 4-year undergraduate degree, okay? As we said, medicine has a different fee structure. There was a question about regarding disabled applicants and students, if we have a specific quota for admission, and the answer is no. There's no specific policy in terms of either at the national level set up by the Turkish government or by universities. However, if you have a specific disability, you can, there's a section of the online application form where you can mention that. And in your motivation letter, you can also give more details about the specific condition or disability that you have and any specific requirements or needs that you would have as a student. Because as we said, we do have a disabilities office, and their purpose is to help meet the needs of students in their academic and extracurricular activities on campus as university students. Then there was a question about business, job opportunities and salaries after graduation in Turkey for international students, and what would be the salary, for example, for somebody who graduated from our business undergraduate program. That question is very relevant. We understand it's important. What we would recommend is there are different websites where you can see, for example, what are the average salaries for different job titles here in Turkey, expressed either in dollars or in Turkish lira, which is the local currency. When you compare salaries in Turkey against those in Europe, of course, in Turkey, they're going to be lower than that. However, it depends on which companies you will work for and whether you will be considered a local hire or an expat hire. The best thing that you can do is to be hired here as an expat hire, because you will likely be remunerated in US dollars or euros instead of the Turkish currency. What we can say very, easily and very proudly is that our alumni, our graduates, they have no problem at all in terms of finding job opportunities even before graduation. So we have statistics which are published by our Career Development Center, where they survey employers in Turkey and outside of Turkey. And they survey also our alumni after 2 years, 2 years after they have graduated. And the numbers are very encouragement in terms of, I know in Pakistan it's referred as placements. So the placements of our alumni, both in Turkey, in local or multinational companies, are very good, especially in engineering and business programs. It's one of the best universities in Turkey to graduate from in that sense, because the reputation of our degrees is very high. There was a question about if work is allowed as an international student during your studies. The answer is yes, but it's not very easy. So the current regulation states that a company can hire a person who is here on a student residence permit, but they would need to apply for a separate work permit for the person. And that's not a very complicated procedure in itself, but not many companies, especially small or medium companies, are aware of this, and they don't know, and they don't want to take the risk or the hassle to do that. So most international students, if they work here in Turkey, they would work on like remote type assignments where they're paid abroad, or not legally, basically, which is not ideal. So that, again, this is why it's preferable that if you do decide to come to Turkey, that you should have sufficient funding to cover your living expenses so that you don't have to rely on working part-time. The other thing is that our programs are very rigorous in terms of the number of hours that you have to dedicate each week for readings, for course assignments, for projects. So you might not really have enough time to be working part-time outside of our campus. There are some limited work opportunities on campus. For example, not so much in terms of administrative work, but as research assistantships or laboratory assistantships with professors, depending on which program you're enrolled in, okay? So then other questions, there was a question about the number of credit hours for the undergraduate programs. So all universities in Turkey, we are part of we follow the Bologna process. The Bologna process is something related to the European Union to standardize the higher education systems, including how courses are measured, evaluated. For our 4-year undergraduate programs, so I'm talking about everything except medicine, you typically would require 124 credits over 4 years, which is around 41 courses, okay? And we have the Koç University credit system, and then the ECTS, European Credit Transfer System credits. So we have an equivalency table for that, again, if you want more details about that, we can send you a link. If you email us, we can send you a link to the relevant pages from our academic affairs office. Then we had some questions about the online form. For example, like, yes, the English or language requirement is optional, so you don't have to fill out that part of the form. However, you do have to put something in the test scores section of the form. Otherwise, the system will not allow you to submit it. So in the test score section, for example, if you don't have right now an SAT test score report or A-level or IB diploma test score, you can still select one of those and indicate the date at which you will receive it. In the case of the SAT, for example, you can check on the College Board website and see the dates that they have published for the June exam, if it's available in Pakistan, or for a later date. The main thing is that let's say that's the technical thing you need to do to be able to submit the application. There was a question here, for example, if your school is closed right now and you're not able to get or obtain any transcripts, unfortunately, we are aware of that situation, but you should try as possible to obtain some type of letter or transcript from your school. You can maybe request this from your school principal via email, just to acknowledge that you are enrolled at the school, that you are completing your year 12, for example. And if they can provide any electronic versions of your previous year's transcripts, that's what we would recommend that you do, okay? Similar question, for example, if the high school exam is in July, what to do? As we said, try to obtain from your school any type of official document that states that you're enrolled, that you will be finishing in July, and that your grades and the courses you have taken up until now are this, and that these are the grades that you have. It's a way of assessing your academic performance. We need some type of document to know that you have taken, for example, at least mathematics and some social sciences courses, and what the grades that you have are so far. There was a question if there's a distinction between SAT and A-level candidates in terms of how they're evaluated, and the answer is no. We evaluate everyone in the same way. Another question about the percentage of SAT in the admissions, we have covered that, so I'm not gonna repeat that. You can see it also on our website. Whether 100% scholarship is available, yes, but it is very competitive. It's not something that can be awarded easily in terms of merit. So for a 100% merit scholarship, you need to be an outstandingly good student. Outstandingly means that you are ranked first, second, or third in your whole cohort in your school, or that you have obtained some national level or regional level award, either curricular or extracurricular, that you have near perfect SAT scores and near perfect grades. So that's what we mean, okay? For need-based scholarships, as my colleague Efe said, it's not saying I don't have any money at all. It's saying my family is not able to afford the full tuition at Koç University, which, as I said, it's roughly $20,000, but we do have enough money to cover my living expenses for a whole year, or at least 10 months of the year. So if you're able to demonstrate that, there are better chances of obtaining 100% scholarship, but as I said, it's not guaranteed. You need to provide sufficient documentation. Okay, another question, and we have to wrap up in around 3 minutes, I think. So I'll try to cover everything. I think we just have 3 or 4 more, and then we'll check the other questions that will come in. The time to shortlist candidates for medicine, it's approximately 3 to 4 weeks after the session deadline. So right now we're in our spring evaluation session period that will finish on the 29th of May. So if you submit your application anytime between today and the 29th of May, and you have applied for medicine, you would know if you have been shortlisted or not by the 3rd week of June. That the School of Medicine contacts you directly via email to schedule an online interview. And after that, you are then informed if you have been admitted or not. There was a question then about the cost of facilities like the gym and swimming pools, whether it's included in the tuition or not, or if it's free. Yes, it's free. So, with your tuition, you're covering the costs of your education, basically tuition for the courses that you're taking, and the use of all campus facilities, including the gym, swimming pools, ice skating rink, library, all the areas that we offer to students, and all the equipment that we have within the gym as well. Another question was whether the motivation letter and recommendation letters are required. Yes. If we don't have that, then you will be marked on the system as missing documents, and you won't be evaluated until those 2 things, the motivation letter and recommendation letters are on the application, on the system. So please do include a motivation letter and recommendation letters. Okay, so now we're gonna check our other questions that came after that. There was a question about what are the, dormitory fees. Um, yes, so the dormitory fees range between $2,000 to $5,000 per academic year. An academic year for us, it's 10 months. So the fall semester and the spring semester. During the summer, students typically go back home to their country, or if they decide to stay in Turkey, then they find alternative accommodation. Then a very good question here. Can we use international agents to get admission in Koç University, or we can apply online on our own? The answer is, of course, you can apply on your own. We do work with one agency in Pakistan, which is called AWM. The agreement that we have with this agency is to provide correct information and guidance to potential applicants on how to apply for our undergraduate and graduate programs, but we do not have any type of agreement in terms of guaranteed admissions or guaranteed scholarships or discounts or earlier decisions or anything like that. So if you do see any agencies making false claims about Koç University, please know that they're false and it shouldn't be done, basically. We encourage students to apply on their own, but making sure that you do thorough research, that you read carefully all of the guidance that we put on our website. So make sure that you don't make any mistakes, that you don't have any missing documents, and that you're aware of the timescales that to apply, of the deadlines, and when you can expect a decision. So there was a question here to send the presentation with the recording. So after we finish when we close the webinar, you will be directed to a form, a webinar form, okay? If you complete that form and you indicate the program you're interested in, you will receive an email with that program information. And tomorrow you will also receive an email with the link to watch the webinar again whenever you want. And we will also be posted in our YouTube channel, which Efe was showing in the last slide. Oops, sorry. My phone ringing at the wrong time. So, another question, whether, just to clarify, if 2,000 to 5,000 annual or per semester, that's annual. So that covers 2 semesters, depending on the room type you have. So the cheapest room is approximately $2,000 for 2 semesters. So if you divide that by 10, it's approximately, $200 per month. Then, okay, let's see the question and answer part. If you know Turkish, will you get any extra credits? Not really. I mean, you can, it all depends on how you can demonstrate your interest in the university and in Turkey. So you can, for example, explain in your motivation letter why you have learned Turkish and how you think it will help you in your academic or non-academic activities as a university student in Turkey. Then there's another question here, which is the student applied to Koç University but didn't get a scholarship, planning to reapply. I think this is a very individual question, but if you can please email us, that would be great. If you have already applied, if you want to reapply, you would need to reapply with a different email address because the system does not allow you to submit an application to the same type, for example, as an international student with the same email address, okay? Then, as again, a question, if a person hasn't attempted the SAT exam and due to the current situation, there are no specific dates, what should students hold in the HSSC degree? So as we said, what you need to indicate on the online application form is that you will register at a future date to take the exam. As we said, College Board is likely to introduce additional test dates for June and July. So you can pick a date in July. If there's no information on the College Board website yet, you can pick a date and add that. But please know that if you do receive a conditional admission based on your HSSC degree, you will need to provide an SAT test score by September, okay? So I think those are the questions.
We should wrap up, I guess.
Yes, yeah. So just 2 last questions. If an SAT score of 1390 is a good one, I would say it's okay, depending on the program. For medicine, it's below the minimum. So for medicine, no. if I cannot afford the tuition fees, what should I do? As we said, like, please make sure that on the online application form that you click yes to be considered for a scholarship and provide all of the supporting documents so that we can understand your financial need and hopefully provide a full or partial scholarship. And last question is, can we also learn Turkish in university for free? Yes, so we have Turkish language courses that you can take as electives of your major and learn Turkish from beginner all the way to advanced level. So we're gonna wrap up now. I'm gonna say bye and leave to Efe.
Thank you so much for attending today. We're trying to answer as much as questions that we can answer. But as Melissa mentioned, like, you will be receiving the recorded version of the webinar. For all questions you ask, like, we more or less, we cover all of them. Also, you're also welcome to send us an email whenever you have a further question. And also, please visit our webpage. You can see on the screen at the moment, international.ku.edu.tr. Then we would love to answer all of your questions after this webinar as well. And thank you so much again for your interest. It was a pleasure for us to meet with you here. And till next time, thank you so much again and take care.